It's February 12, 2010. Just another Friday afternoon at the University of Alabama in Huntsville. Professors are gathered in a small conference room for what's supposed to be a boring, routine faculty meeting. The meeting drags on for about 45 minutes. People are zoning out, checking their notes, waiting for the weekend. And then, without warning, one of their own stands up, pulls out a gun, and starts firing. Chaos erupts. Professors dive under tables, scramble for the doors. Some escape, but 3 are left dead. At first, this looked like another tragic act of workplace violence. But oh no, when investigators dug into the shooter's past, what they uncovered shocked everyone. This wasn't random. This was decades in the making. This is the story of Amy Bishop, a Harvard-trained neuroscientist with a deadly temper, a history of disturbing behavior, and a trail of violence stretching back decades. By the end of this, you'll be sitting there like, what in the butt did I just hear? Because same. So, let's rewind and look at her childhood and early life. Amy Bishop was born on April 24, 1965, to Judith, who went by Judy, and Samuel Bishop. At the time, Sam was finishing his graduate studies in Iowa, so Amy was born in Iowa City. In 1968, Sam got a job as a professor at Northeastern University in Boston. The family moved to the suburban town of Braintree, Massachusetts. And yes, I still can't get over that name. Braintree? Really? That same year, Amy's younger brother Seth was born. So now it was a family of 4. Mom, Dad, Amy, and Seth. The Bishops were a very smart, academic family. Education, the arts, science, those were all super important in their household. Amy began playing violin in 3rd grade and became an accomplished violinist. Seth also picked it up. Both kids were talented and gifted. But while Seth was described as well-liked and easygoing, Amy struggled socially. She was bright, no doubt, but awkward, prone to outbursts. Her mother once said Amy had her father's temper. And that's the thing, her mother Judy? She never ever spoke negatively about Amy, even later when, well, you'll see. Judy was the ultimate family protector, which sure is admirable, but after everything, it's also bizarre. Fast forward to December 6, 1986. Amy is 21 years old, living at home with her parents in Braintree. Seth is 18. That morning, Amy asked her mom to help her learn how to load a shotgun. Why? Because the family had apparently gotten the gun for protection after some recent incidents in the neighborhood. Amy's father wasn't home at the time. At some point, Amy fired the gun in the house. The shot went into her bedroom wall. Panicked, she went downstairs, still holding the weapon. And when she entered the kitchen, where her mother and brother were, she fired again. This time, the bullet struck Seth in the chest, killing him instantly. Amy and her mom later told police the shooting was an accident, that she hadn't meant to pull the trigger. Now here's where things get suspicious. After the shooting, Amy didn't drop the gun or wait for police. Instead, she fled the house, with the shotgun in her hands. Witnesses later said she ran down the street, pointing the gun at people. She even tried to demand a getaway car from a local dealership. Police eventually confronted her and managed to disarm her. So, let's recap. Amy shoots her brother dead, flees the scene with the gun, threatens bystanders, and gets arrested. But here's the kicker. The whole case was quietly closed. Ruled an accident. No charges. No trial. Nothing. Many later believed her well-connected parents helped make the whole thing disappear. Despite everything, Amy went on to build an impressive academic career. She attended Northeastern University for her undergraduate studies, then earned her PhD in genetics from Harvard. She married James Anderson, and the two had 4 children. Amy eventually took a job as a biology professor at the University of Alabama in Huntsville. But her colleagues, they noticed things. She was brilliant, yes, but also volatile, easily angered, prone to rants and paranoia. Students complained about her teaching. In fact, just months before the 2010 shooting, Amy had been denied tenure. That decision meant she would eventually lose her job. Friends and colleagues later said she was furious about it, and she made no secret of her rage. Which brings us back to that February afternoon in 2010. Amy Bishop sat quietly through the first 45 minutes of the faculty meeting. Then, she pulled out a 9mm handgun and opened fire on her colleagues. She shot 6 people. 3 were killed instantly. Dr. Gopi Padala, the department chair, Dr. Maria Ragland Davis, and Dr. Adrielle Johnson. 3 others were injured but survived. Amy was tackled and disarmed before she could flee. Her motive? Anger over being denied tenure. Investigators also uncovered a pattern of instability stretching back decades. Things that had been ignored, excused, or covered up. After her arrest, the 1986 death of her brother Seth came back under the spotlight. Many believed it hadn't been an accident after all. But it was too late. The case had been closed decades earlier. Then came another bombshell. In 1993, Amy and her husband had been questioned in connection with a pipe bomb that was sent to one of Amy's colleagues at Harvard. The bomb didn't go off and there wasn't enough evidence to charge them. But the suspicion was there. So, when you stack it all together, her brother's death, the pipe bomb, the violent outbursts, and finally the 2010 shooting, it paints a chilling picture of someone with a long, unchecked history of dangerous behavior. In 2012, Amy Bishop was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. So, what do we make of all this? On one hand, you have a woman who was undeniably intelligent, Harvard-trained, accomplished, gifted. On the other, you have decades of violence, instability, and red flags that were either ignored or swept under the rug. And it all culminated in tragedy on that February day. This case always leaves me wondering, how many warning signs does it take before someone finally steps in? Because in Amy Bishop's case, it seems like the answer was way too many. What do you think? Was her mother protecting her or enabling her? And could the 2010 shooting have been prevented if the 1986 case had been handled differently? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more wild true crime stories.